How's the squad looking heading into Thursday's game?
There's a very, very, very small chance that Liam Balogun can return. We will see. He did some individual work today. For the rest, nobody will come back. And we lose Stev also, who get an injury at the end of the game. He could continue, but we took a scan and there's clear damage there that he will be out for a few weeks.
How big a blow is that, not only for the few weeks, but for this game in particular, not having your captain available?
Yeah, of course it's a blow, and every injury is a blow, and we had a few blows in that way the last weeks, the last months, first with Nana, then with John, then with Liam Balogun, with Ritvan before in the defense, and with Tef now. But it's about finding solutions and looking for solutions and go and work out of that. So that's what the team has been doing in all that time, and they did well. Only the last two games we get goals a little bit out of nothing, not with really clear mistakes or being out of structure. Totally not, but in these last two games, you have every time that you have a shot on goal, it's almost a goal. So those are the things that sometimes happen in football. Normally, not too much 2 weeks in a row, but it's been the case, and we have been chasing games because of that. So we need to find solutions now for that position in a good way.
Just given James Tavernier's injury, does that then change the situation with Leon Balogun and how likely or not he is to play?
No, because it needs to be possible to play. You cannot play on one leg. So we will see. No, but we always take risks, and you have to do in this business, but it needs to be no crazy risks that players can be out for months. So that will not be the case with Leon, but we will see if he's ready or not.
There's always a lot of pressure on these big derby matches. Does there feel an added pressure just given the gap in the league table at the moment?
Yeah, you cannot look at the gap because then you lose yourself. We need to look at every game to take the maximum out of it. We're very disappointed that we didn't do that in the last two games. And that we get these goals against, because those goals made a really big difference in those games. The team showed resilience to fight back, not only with creating chances but also scoring goals. Pity that it was not the third goal we could make, and then you have another dynamic, you have another conclusion after the game also. Now you lose 2 points more, so it's now looking to the next game to go full for the 3 points.
When a lot of the external focus may be on the league table and what that gap looks like, is it tough not to focus on it? Is it tough not to let that get into the players' heads?
I cannot look in all the heads, but it's the most. Yeah, it would be stupid to think only about the gap and not to think about the next game. It's about the next game, always in football. If you're in front or you're behind, it's always the case. So we knew it would be a tough season in that way, rebuilding a squad with a lot of young players and against a squad who's there already with a core for several years, who spend a lot of money also to create more depth in their squad, because they knew there would be much more games than it was in the past, to make a rotation also in that way in the squad to keep everybody fresh. So we knew that, and we go full in the challenge.
So you say you knew it was going to be a tough season. Did you expect to be here? And you're speaking about the boards, the backing that you got from them. Did they expect you to be in this position with the points behind going into the second?
Yeah, but the points behind you are always pointing towards that, but it's also because your opponents get also a lot of points, even more than they had in the past. So that's also something to do with the gap made there. We need to look at ourselves and to get the best out of the squad we have now, and to make this squad better and better, to become stronger and stronger. That needs to be our focus for now until the end of the season, and for next season and the seasons to come. To build something So this club has been one-time champion in the last 12 years, and not with the first season that the squad was built.
Do you still think you're seeing enough progress? Obviously, reference the last couple of games which have been difficult. But are you seeing enough progress that you're still on track for where you plan to be the start of the season?
Did you give the same question 9 days ago? No, these two games was not good enough, and for sure in this first half conceding goals like this and chasing the game, that was not good enough. And because of that, we came too impatient on the ball. We discussed that, we showed that in moments we did well what we wanted to do, and how we started the game also against Motherwell with a good building, with a good action, with a good clear chance for Cyril in that moment. And a few actions after the goal against, we started to rush things too much, with too much desire to force things, but with not enough overview in moments. In moments, yes, because we still created good other chances with 2 good goals and other good chances also for several players. But we took away also several moments that we rushed too much. So you need to find this balance again.
Are you worried about the mistakes that you've made over the last couple of games? You'd said that maybe players that got a chance to start maybe didn't do well enough. Have you given them the message that that wasn't good enough? And obviously there's added pressure because it's your City rivals. So are you confident that these mistakes are not going to happen again, or are you slightly worried about those mistakes?
Those are different mistakes made in the 2 games with different players, and not only new players, also players who played a lot of games. So yeah, of course, we address every time the mistakes we make because we want to learn out of that. Does it mean that there will no mistakes anymore will be made? No, that will not happen. Not with us and not with other teams. Otherwise, you never concede goals also. But in this moment, in these 2 games, every mistake we made was also a goal in that way. So no, we're working on things to make things better, and it's not that it's repetitive. The last few weeks, the last few months, the same kind of mistakes. It's individual decision making or reaction in one moment. That was the case.
Does that come down maybe to players also feeling tired? We've just heard from Vaclav Cerny, who's obviously spoke to you about being tired and the schedule and things like that. Does that play a part, do you think, in players' mentality? Maybe they're a bit tired or something like that, or I mean, when you hear fans will not be happy when they hear that players are tired, so there's probably kind of 2 barrels to that there. Is the schedule too much, and is that contributing to your players making these mistakes?
No, I don't think so, because it happened in the beginning of the game. So no excuse about that. If it's in the 80 minutes and you're that tired, maybe yes more. So I don't think so, no.
Philippe, you said you're interested in some of your players after the game, the last game there. Have you concrete bids for any of the players?
I hope not.
But you haven't, or you don't know? Have you had concrete bids?
Those are no questions for me. Those are questions for our CEO or our sportive director in that way.
Are you under any financial pressure to maybe sell some players at this window?
Those are also questions for them.
Do the injuries that you've sustained at the moment change how you want to recruit in January? Obviously, losing John Strutter's a huge thing for you at the heart of your defence. Were you maybe of the mindset maybe you wanted to try and send someone ahead of the game on January the 2nd, or does overall your injury worries kind of change your mentality as to who you want to recruit?
It will always change things if players are out, but of course everybody knows that the January window is a very difficult window because teams don't want to sell their best players or they cost too much money. So we had talks about that, and we will see what the possibilities can or could be in that way.
Is there a psychological barrier that players have got to overcome to beat Celtic? Because that's 7 games. I know you only here for 6 of them.
No, but did you see a psychological barrier 9 days ago in this cup final?
No, perhaps in previous games. Perhaps in previous games.
No, it's conclusions afterwards. These players have been going full for that, and It's the same way now. Of course, it's not the ideal situation that you need to mess up your defense again. But the team is going to go full to get the result, and they have the quality also to do it. They did it 9 days ago. The circumstances didn't fall our side that day. Let's keep it like that. And they went full for it, and they're going to go full for it on Thursday also again to get this victory.
So would you have to get creative with your defensive option? You've already got 3 injuries, maybe Tavernier's a 4th. Prospects might have to play someone out of position on Thursday against Celtic.
That's a possibility, yes.
Obviously a non-ideal situation.
Yeah, but nothing about that. It's always adapting. What is the situation? Sometimes you get also really positive surprises about that. So it's about everybody who's fit going full to get a result. What they did in the last 2 games also, and that's a pity in that way that we shot in our own foot by conceding those goals, and because of that chasing the game too much and missing this small thing to win these games. It's 2 games that you had one time 70, one time 75% ball possession in an away game, that you have much more chances than an opponent, but you lose the points.
What is it you put that down to, Philippe? Why are Rangers missing those key qualities in the final third to go take 3 points in these games?
Yeah, but we scored 2 goals each time. You cannot concede 2 goals. This time it was every shot at goal was a goal or it was a penalty. There were no clear-cut other chances for the opponent in the 2 games. So, yeah, those things happen sometime in football. It's frustrating. We need to avoid that they come to these chances, and we made mistakes in that way. That's clear. We talked about that, and now it's about looking forward and taking our moments.
Okay. Last one, sorry.
I think Rangers away record across the board in the league so far has been a bit of a concern. What are you doing to rectify that in the second half of the season?
Can you repeat your question, please?
Yeah, sorry, Rangers away record in the league has been really poor so far this season. What are you doing to rectify that in the coming weekend?
Not conceding these goals and playing better. What we did the last weeks, Ross County away, was a really good game, for example. So we need to get that stability back in the team with not getting these goals against like that, and to be efficient on the other side. We scored also the goals now, but you cannot get every time that you have to chase the game. That's an important point.
Okay, moving on to